Hey, saints, targeted individuals, God's elect. Today is November 11th, so it's 1110, 2017. Time is exactly 5:30, and this is a plea, a cry out to all the saints, all targeted individuals to come together. We've got to take a stand on this. This may be my last video. I'm being threatened. My life is being threatened. This isn't a joke. I'm about to read y'all an email that I received from one of my subscribers. I'm praying on it, but I'm not getting a good feeling about it. And I'll let y'all also, give me feedback on what y'all feel as well. If she's watching, no offense, but I'm not fear-based. I don't believe that the Lord would say this stuff, what you told me. Okay, let me tell y'all what's been going on. Okay, as y'all know, I had a boat that I lived on because I couldn't afford anything else because they keep me jobless. And whatever apartment I get, they ruin it, they destroy it, won't let me sleep, will harass me, noise campaigns. Y'all know all that. Okay, but anyway, after Hurricane Irma, I became homeless, which was around a month and a half ago. Let's see, well, Hurricane Irma was on September 10th, funny enough. Wow, today's the 10th. Wow, exactly 2 months ago. How funny. I lose track of time because of all the crazy stuff that's always happening. But, and then we lost power. I was still living there in Key West. We lost power for about 2 weeks. And then because of all the other stuff, I ended up becoming homeless. Anyway, long story short, I didn't have to be homeless. I could have been living on my boat this whole time. But the powers that be, the satanic, evil, corrupt government that is trying to shut my mouth, along with several other of God's elect that I'm about to tell y'all also. We need to pray for all of the truthers. Even if they don't know Christ yet, I believe that a lot of the truthers are also under attack. But God's saints that are also on YouTube that are truthers, we're under a severe attack. And this is a warning, and this is also a cry for all of us to come together. I don't know if we can have a place where we can meet. I'm sure there's going to be infiltrators, but if we have the Holy Spirit on us, we're going to be able to call them out. Okay, so what happened was after I finally was able to call, because my boat was 7 hours away, so I called to pay it, pay my monthly fee like I always do, and I was letting a so-called friend who turned out to be yet another Judas and found out he stole stuff off my boat. Just sad, and I let him stay there for free. Anyway, I finally called the city marina. Yeah, it's run by the city, and said I wanted to pay it. I know it was late, but I explained about Irma, and they said, okay, that's fine. And I said, I can't pay it yet because now I'm having to find somewhere else to live. But could you give me till the end of the month? And it would technically only be 15 days late because my payment's not due. Actually, a little bit over 15 days late. It's actually due on the 11th. Doesn't matter. Anyway, and they said, sure. And I said, okay, I just want to let y'all know I'll pay it. It's just going to be a little late because I've never been late before, and I've been paying since January. So, at this point, it had been 9 months. And then a couple days later, I called to pay it, and they said, oh, you gotta come down here. It was on a Friday. They said, you got to get down here. You have 72-hour warning. They didn't email me. They couldn't call me because, as y'all know, they stole my phone after Irma, so I was borrowing a friend's phone. But they could have emailed me. They had my email. Never gave me any notice until I called, and they said, you have 72 hours to come remove your boat, or we're going to remove it and charge you $7,000. I said, for what? Oh, it's sinking. I said, you told me it wasn't sinking. It didn't get damaged from Irma. So my supposed friend told me that the cover to the sail ripped. And they said, nope, it's sinking. We had to put a bilge pump on it, which we're going to charge you for $400. They're going to charge. I said, I didn't okay that, and y'all didn't tell me that just a couple days ago. I had a bilge pump. Well, come to find out, someone had yet again gone on the boat and cut my bilge pump. And before they burnt the wires to the bilge pump. So I'm constantly being sabotaged. I told you that I broke onto my boat and stole my engine key. This was 6 months ago. So I was, pretty upset. I'm like, that was that's where I'm going to live. That's all I have. I only brought one bag of clothes with me. I said, can't you work with me? I have no way there. And this is the truth, y'all. There was no buses going out of Key West after Irma for over a month, maybe a month and a half, probably a good month and a half, but definitely at this point, there was no buses. I said, there's no way out. I don't have a car and I don't know anybody that drives. Of the few people that were on the island, we only had like 5% of the people that stayed. And they said, oh, that's not their problem. The only other thing they can suggest is that I can locate a mechanic. This is after working hours. This was, I'd say, 5:30, okay? 5:30 when I called because I knew the marina closed at 6, and I'm like, oh, frantically trying to pay it, right? And they said, nope, that's all you can do. Call a mechanic, and it's probably going to cost you a couple thousand for him to go under the boat, find the problem, and then he's going to have to raise it out and do the work. And I'm just like in distress. I'm like, I can't get there. And I don't know any mechanics, and nobody's going to come out on the weekend. And then how am I going to pay them? I'm not even there, and I don't have the money. Well, that's not their problem. They'll be charging me $7,000, or unless I come and remove it right then, and then they still want their payment plus late fee. And then that was it. Then my phone, oh, this is what happened. After my phone got stolen, I forgot about this. 2 days later, I told you I got it back. Someone miraculously found it. Yet they had taken the time to download stuff on it. Right as I'm in the middle of this conversation, like a very important conversation, I get a spiral on my phone. And it says installing updates, and it shut down, and it never came back on, y'all. It never came back on for a full month. A full month. So that's how it ended. So I thought, well, my boat sunk, and I don't know what they're going to do, I'll probably have to make payments, and they'll just have to move it. Well, come to find out, 2 days ago, I get an email from, another military guy that lived or has a boat across from mine, saying that I have a note on my boat. And he said, you want me to read it to you? Can I open it? I was like, yeah. And I said, the boat's still there? He goes, yeah, the boat's here. I said, it didn't sink? No, it didn't sink. It's got a little bit of water, but it didn't sink. I mean, it's normal. All the boats got water. I'm like, what? So I could have been living on my boat, y'all, for the last 2 months instead of struggling in the street being homeless, but they lied to me, okay? Knowing, once they knew I was stranded in Key West, that there was no way I'd find out and nothing I could do. Isn't that nice? But it gets better. So, chopper, right overhead. Hold on. Security is rolling outside my window. I just want y'all to see this as I'm filming this. There's security. See him? I'm being harassed by corrupt security right now, y'all. That's part of my story. And I don't know. I think they're trying to set me up for something again. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if cops come and bust down my door. This is how bad it is for me today. I've been followed by 3 choppers now. This is 2 days in a row. Three choppers have been following me right directly over my head. And they don't even make it like to where it could be something else. Maybe they're going over traffic, because I'm always trying to think, what's not me. This was so obvious. Other people were looking at me as I'm walking and looking at that. It's crazy. And I finally said, yeah, I'm a saint. I'm wearing this today, y'all, in case this is the last time y'all ever see me. I'm really this serious. It's getting this bad. So getting back to this. So I'm sorry. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming, the attacks I'm having right now. So he said that the note said the note was dated October 27th. I have till November 11th. So that meant 4 days, because I just found out about this 2 days ago. 4 days notice that I get and that's only because I called this military dude and asked him, what was going on over there. Did they move it or what? Because I wanted to try to come get some clothes, because I don't have hardly any clothes, and it's getting cold out, and I don't have but like one sweater. And anyway, and I left my leather coat in Key West because the witches were upsetting me so bad that the Lord told me to leave, and I could only take one bag with me on a bus. So long story short, he reads the letter, and the letter said, you have till November 11th, when my rent would have been 2 months overdue, to pay the remaining balance of $1,170, or they would take me to federal court. Yeah. For non-payment. I'm like, I would have paid it and come and lived on it. They told me it sunk and they were removing it, and that's the last I heard. No email or anything. So I said, I'm calling the office. I called the office, and they said, oh, well, we mailed it to your last known address, which is the marina. And I said, y'all know I don't live there. Y'all could have told me this over the phone. Oh, no, it's not their problem. I need to pay it, and I need to remove the boat. I said, I don't have the money. I'm homeless. Oh, well. And then I said, and also while we're on the phone with that, how did 200, see, it's 450 or 467 if you live aboard. If you don't, it's 277, which is a big difference for me, right? And I was keeping the boat because I just had a bad feeling that it wasn't going to work out, which it never does for us targets, and I'd have to go back and live on it again, even though I was extremely harassed there. At least it was my own little space, but they take everything. They take everything. They always have done this. They stole my travel trailer from me, y'all. Nothing ever happened. The police never helped me. The police are here to harm us. I hate to tell y'all, if there's a good cop out there, it'll be a rarity. There might be a few, because I believe that God does have a few strategically placed that are his saints, but very, very few. So if you are a good cop, if you are a good military, if you have a heart, if you feel sorry for people that you know they're doing this to, stand up, step up to the plate, because time is nigh. We're about out of here. And this is what I'm coming to tell y'all. But I needed anybody that's has this also going on, please chime in. Please also pray for me. Pray for my dog. They're trying to get her as well. Pray for all the saints and a couple other people that I believe are under severe attack as well. I'll tell you about them. But anyway, so I said, I'm only 2 months behind. Oh, no, you didn't pay. May, June, July. I'm like, yeah, I did. And because I had a statement from my bank, he weaseled out of that over the phone. I said, okay. Well, they think I'm dumb. I don't have any kind of proof, and I had it. And I said, yeah, I've got my statement. I know what I paid. And the only reason I didn't pay October and November is because y'all told me my boat sank. So y'all were going to remove it. So why would I pay? And then I said, and now I'm homeless and I really needed that boat. And I said, if I can pay it and pay what's rightly due, then I'd gladly come back. And so then he squirmed out of the saying that I was 5 months behind to the 2 months, which I really was, but that's only because of what they told me. And then, but he still only lowered it to 840, which I still don't have. I'm like, but wait a minute, 277 and 277 equals, and I don't have it written down now, but it was like 540 or something like that. It was in the fives. And I'm like, so how did you get whatever? He goes, well, you're in Key West, right? And I said, yeah. He goes, well, you're not a resident of where I was living, which is actually, I'll go ahead and say it, St. Petersburg. St. Pete Marina is who did this to me. They're crooks. They're crooked crooks. And I found out from another boat owner that they've done this to a couple other people, but not as evil as me, because the other people at least had houses to go to, right? But this is what they do. This is all part of our corrupt government that runs everything. And they hate people that are called by the Lord and that speak up and stand up for the truth. Anyway, so he said, no, because you're not a resident here, we're going to charge you the non-resident fee, which is $340 or something. So it was an extra $60 a month. So I didn't argue. I said, well, at least he dropped it down a little bit. And I said, so can I make payments? Nope. You got 4 days to pay it. And then you got to owe for this month, or we're going to have a lien put on your boat and we're going to take you to court. And I'm like, I don't even have a place to live. What are y'all going to get on me? Oh, that's not my problem. So that's where that ended. And so I was going to try to get a bus down there and try to deal with it. And I prayed on it. And another sister in Christ, Sarah Forth Calling, her and I both got the same message from the Lord. I had a very sick feeling about going there. And I was like, well, at least maybe I can get somebody to help me move it. They broke the propeller. Somebody came on board and broke the propeller. No, the storm didn't do it. And none of the other boats had any of this kind of stuff happen, only mine. And so I thought, well, at least I can get my clothes and my paints. You know, I used to, back before all this stuff got really really bad, which was back in 2012, I used to paint. I thought maybe I could at least get the few belongings I have, and I have 2 pairs of shoes. So I thought at least I got some shoes there, and I have a coat, and I'll go get all that and then deal with it. And I prayed on it, and I slept on it, and I asked another sister in Christ, Sarah, her name's Karen, Sarah Forth Calling. Go to her channel if y'all haven't seen her. She's awesome. And she really, really knows the Lord. The Lord really works and talks through her. She said, no, the Lord, she says Father, and I do too sometimes. Father has you right where he wants you. You're right where you want to, right where you're supposed to be. And she didn't get a good feeling about it. And I said, that's funny, because the next morning I woke up with like this feeling, do not go. I did not tell you to go there. Let that stuff go. You've lost everything multiple times before. And I walked away from a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in New Orleans with everything I own in it, except, again, 1 bag of clothes. 2.5 years ago, when the Lord told me to leave, that my life was in danger. That was the exact words he told me. Leave now, your life is in danger. And basically, I was being given the Abraham test. Will you give up everything to follow me? And I did. He's been blessing me, but I've been getting worse, way worse attacks. Let me get some water. Targets, you need to drink a lot of water. The way that they're coming at us with whatever that they're doing, and we're making a heart race and all that, it's depleting us and dehydrating us. And interestingly enough, people used to call me a mermaid. Back when I actually still had some friends, they would call me mermaid. A couple of my ex-boyfriends named me a mermaid because I love the water and I drink lots of water. They said, man, you drink like a camel, because I go, 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 and I'll be able to drink. I can drink one of these whole things. Well, maybe not this one, but I can drink this size, like straight down. No problem. Now we got military man. Let me show y'all what they do. And my camera will probably go off. And there he goes. That's him. Hopefully y'all can see him. After he revs his engine, my camera goes off, I've noticed. He's directly above me. He's the one whose license plate I showed y'all is Navy. I'm just so excited. I'm rambling because I don't know if I'll be able to get on again. I don't know what they're going to do, but I know the Lord will warn me. And I know I'm strategically placed, but it's getting really bad, y'all. So, forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, they call me mermaid and stuff. It's very important because it depletes, and I've always drank a lot of water, so maybe that's part of what's helped me get through this. Because I should have been dead years and years ago. I have a dent in my head where I was in a bad wreck and basically was dead for, I don't know, a minute or two. And then another time, I was riding my bike and a gang stalker purposely ran. He stopped at the stop sign, made eye contact with me, and the Lord said, "Look at him." And I had like a bad feeling, but I thought, okay, I made eye contact. I felt that he was going to do something. I felt it. But once I made eye contact, I said, okay, I can go now because he's seen me and he's stopped at the stop sign. As soon as I made my way into the street to turn right on a bicycle, he punched it and knocked me off my bike. My shoes, I had flip-flops on. They went flying straight ahead underneath the vehicle. And then I was thrown up, and my face should have smashed the windshield, but I believe God's angel lifted me up. I felt lifted up, and all that happened was my chin hit the very top part of his truck. It was a red pickup truck. Karen, it was a red pickup truck. Wow, I forgot about that. Oh wow, I just remembered that. It used to be red vehicles that would stalk me more than black. Now it's almost always high up. I believe they're high up military and police that are stalking me because they're black SUVs, and I've noticed a lot of cops have those. And black vehicles that look like undercover cop cars. Lots of them. I have them all the time. But anyway, and then I was thrown under the vehicle. Like when I was lifted up, I was thrown under it. That could only be from an angel. There's no possible way I could have gone forward and then went under. I went forward and up, back down, hit my chin, and underneath. The bike was all crumpled up under me. And while I was under the car, I'm pulling myself up and I'm thinking my face is going to be, because I felt bleeding, but it was just on my chin. I'm thinking my face is all messed up and stuff. Oh, my face! And so I'm pulling myself up like this. The man is standing, he's a Creole man in New Orleans, it happened in New Orleans, standing over me. Didn't go, here, are you okay? Let me help you. If you just hit somebody, wouldn't you be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you okay? And help them up. He just stood there with a mad look. And honestly, he put his hands on his hips like he was mad. And I got up and I was like kind of in shock. And I go, am I okay? And he goes, yeah. He goes, DAMN. You must have somebody looking out for you because I knocked the F out of you. That's what he said to me. No apology, nothing. And you know what? The only thing I asked for was if he said, well, do you want me to call the cops? I said no, because I knew they wouldn't help me. They'd probably end up making it my fault, and I'd end up owing him. I mean, the way they do me, the cops, no, I'm not. Nope. So he knew I wouldn't do it. So he's like, oh, well, I guess you're going to have to need a ride home. I'll give you a ride home. How much money do you want from this? And I said, honestly, all I want is another bike. I said, this bike was a used bike and only cost me $75. If you could get me another used bike, because the bike was totaled. And he said, sure, no problem. And then he gave me his phone number. And then the next day I called because I need the bike because that's my transportation. I was going to get groceries. I walk most places, but the grocery store is too far to walk. I mean, I could walk it, but it's just hard carrying bags. So I'll put bags in my little bike basket. This is how I've been doing for 8 years because they falsified NOPD, New Orleans, not our problem, dude. They falsified documents and lied about me and made it to where I can't drive. And I don't want to drive now because they'll just set me up again. So this is what I've been dealing with for 8 years, y'all. 8 years of this. So that's all I asked for. And then the next day when I looked at the bike, because we put the bike in the back of the truck, and yeah, I know y'all like, y'all, you got to ride home with a stalker, but I knew I was okay because it made such a loud noise that 4 people came out of their house to see what happened. And then I said, I'm going with him. And she's like, okay, I got the license plate. And I also called a friend and said, of course, it turned out to be another Judas. But at the time, I thought he was a friend. And honestly, I really didn't. The Lord had kind of warned me, but it's like us targets, we have to take our chances with the stalkers a lot of times or just be isolated, which is what I've opted to do now. Sad because I love people. I love people, and I know people like me at first, and then the enemy gets to them. They're either too scared to talk to me or they become one of my tormentors. But yeah, so then the next day, because I needed the bike, I need it. It's not just for fun. I use it. It's my vehicle. And I said, you know what? I looked at the bike, and it's really not that bad other than the tires and the rims are like completely mangled. I said, but I straightened the handlebar out. And I said, if you could just buy me tires, I found some tires, not even new, y'all. I found some tires online for $50. Okay, I'll go buy them and I'll throw them over your fence. And because he said he'd come by and give them to me, and I had a bad feeling. I said, no, can you just throw them over the fence because I'll be gone? He said, okay, no problem, I'll do it. Never heard from him again, and the next day his phone was disconnected. And they did that with my dog, too. When a pit bull ripped the ear off, or part of my dog's ear off on my other dog that they eventually poisoned, I just asked for half the vet bill, and it was their fault. They should have paid the whole thing. And nothing, not even a penny. And this is what they do. They take and take and take and steal and destroy and ruin lives. And anyway, I'm sorry this isn't an uplifting video, but I'm pretty upset from how bad my harassment is. And I just got a threatening email about my life is in danger. So I need prayer and prayer for some other things. Okay, I got off track. Now getting back to what's going on now. So, yeah, so the boat thing happened. I felt like they were trying to lure me there, and they were trying to make sure I was there by today. Today, interestingly enough, is Veterans Day, and there's a lot of vets over in that area. That's one of the reasons I moved from there. I'm like, I need to get away from this. But they follow me where I'm at now. There's no bases over here. Yet there's Army, military on either side of me. Either side of me. One's a high up guy. He's got kind of badges. And then the other one's like, I don't know what he is. Probably E4 or something. But so that happened, and then another sister in Christ, Karen, Sarah Forth, called, said she had a bad feeling too. It was a trap. And I was like, thank you, Lord, that's my confirmation. Well, now they're pissed because it didn't work. So guess what happened? So today, I get a knock on my door. I'm renting a room, okay? I get a knock on the door, and a man says he needs to come in and check my air conditioner. Well, my air conditioner is running fine. I said, oh, no, it's fine. I didn't call. No, I need to get in there and check your air conditioner. I said, no, it's fine. I'm fine. No, I need to get in. Open the door right now. And I had like a bad feeling. So I look out the little like side because I didn't know who it was, and I wasn't sure if I recognized the guy or not. I thought, because I couldn't really see him because it was like real blurry where the little peephole is. You can barely see out of it, which they've done the same thing to my camera. And by the way, I caught him spraying something on it yesterday, right on the peephole. I'm really not kidding y'all. The Lord said, go look out the peephole. And as I did, the housekeeper was spraying the peephole, but never wiped it off, and then started doing this weird dance, like making fun of me outside my door, not knowing that I saw the whole thing. To the witch. The witch was outside next door. Yeah. So anyway, but I blew all that off. And so I couldn't really tell because it was smeary. And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not opening the door. Nobody has called to tell me that you need to check my air conditioner because it was just odd. There's nothing wrong with it. I didn't call. Why should I let you in? And he called security. So here comes security, so I have to let him in. He checks it. He said, oh, well, it's going to get cold, so we just got to make sure the heater works. Why couldn't I do that? Unbelievable. He said he's checking all of them. Never heard another knock, only my door. I would have heard the knock next door and on the other. He never knocked on anybody else's door, just mine. So no telling what they did with that. I don't know if they put something in here. I have no clue. But anyway, so then I leave to go get water. What else? And as I'm leaving, the witch is outside, and she's got a whole group around her, including the man that's apparently maintenance, that is friends with the owner. Isn't that funny? Of where I'm staying. And they're all in a circle talking and laughing. So I'm sure they're trying to set something up. But the scary part is then I'm on my way. I only got to walk like 4 blocks to go to get the water. And 3 choppers, which this happened 2 days ago. I said yesterday, but it didn't happen yesterday. But it did happen 2 days ago. And I actually got a picture of it on my phone, but you can barely see them. 3 choppers, y'all. That's how bad they want me to shut up. 3 choppers followed me all the way to the store. And it was so noticeable that other people would look at me and then look up, and they followed me. They hovered outside, and now they're back on top of where we're at, or where I'm at. Okay, and then when I get back, my card doesn't work, and I paid. So I have to go back up, and as I do, a girl gets out of a yeah, they're cussing and screaming. A girl gets out of a cab, and she follows me up there. She's dressed in red. Just follows me and watches what I'm doing, like to intimidate me. And then the woman that I told you is a demon that blocked me the other day when I was trying to get that video of the gang stalker that was being overtaken by a demon, she came and spit right in front of my door and looked at me. As I opened the curtain, because I have to keep the curtain shut because they'll come by and do all kinds of antics. So I have to live with a curtain shut, which sucks because I love outdoors. I love light, but they steal all of that from us, y'all. They steal it, but they cannot steal our love for the Lord. They will never take that from me, and I will have my joy. Right now, I'm kind of not real joyful, but I'll get over it. It's just I'm not getting much sleep. They're playing music really loud above me. There's loud booms outside all the time, just all kinds of crazy stuff. But getting back, y'all saw security, so they're like letting me know. They come, and this one guy's very hateful. He hates me for no reason except that I have the Lord and he doesn't. He's one of the 2 that came over and trying to question me, saying, "Are you sure you didn't do anything?" When I told y'all that they falsely accused me of threatening their kids, when I said, "I like what your kids have on," to the woman who turns out to be a witch, tried to tell me she was a believer. So he's been watching me. The other one I think is okay. I actually think one of the security guards is actually a good dude. He's cool. If he's watching this, brother, I think you're a good dude. His name's Wyatt. And anyway, but the rest of them, no, they're totally taken over by the enemy. But see, God does have his people. So not all security, I'd say 99 and 99 on the cops and 99 on the military are evil, corrupt, or they've been taken over. They're just too wimpy to stand up for what's right. Those are the ones that can be pulled out of it. If they know it's wrong and they're feeling guilty about it, they need to repent and turn to Jesus. But most of them either have sold their soul to Satan and they're gone, or they're evil. They just, well, actually, that's the same. Or they're brainwashed is what I meant to say. Okay, so here's where the threatening part comes in. So I get a message, a woman, I'm not going to say her name right now. I may end up calling her out after I pray on this. I haven't prayed on it real hard yet because of all the heavy attack. She started emailing me a couple weeks ago trying to get me to come up to where she lives, which is way far away, and that I could come stay with her. And I was like, no, thank you. And then she's trying to get all kinds of information out of me. How do I spell my first name and stuff like that, which was choppers. Wow, they're loud. They're like right. Wow, it's vibrating. Anyway, long story short, she's trying to lure me to where she's at or whatever. But I find it interesting that while I'm under this heavy attack, she's emailing me like she knows. Like she knows that this is going on. They're screaming outside my door right now. There's cussing and screaming outside my door. I get an email, and this isn't the complete email because I had to write it down because I can't read it off my email while I'm videoing. So I'm skipping over a few parts, but the gist of it is this, y'all. Listen to this. I know your targeting is heavy. This is the girl emailing me that was trying to get me to go to her house that says she's also one of the elect, and she's a targeted individual. I know your targeting is heavy. They want us dead. I can't even trust my mother. They are all high-level, 33rd degree and up, satanic witches, warlocks, masquerading as God-fearing people. They fooled me for 45 years. My main intention is getting you to safety. It's boggling my mind that you do have some internet friendships, yet a year later from starting your channel, your targeting is worse, it seems. Basically, trying to make me think that the few people, God's saints, God's elect, that I've befriended are the reason why my targeting is worse. Like trying to put doubt in us, right, saints? This is what they do. The enemy does not want any of the saints talking to each other. They have you on the run. I'm not on the run. The Lord guided me here. If I was on the run, I would have left the other day. I'm on the run. The cops got my gun. Right about now, I'm out trying to have some fun. Sorry. I'm trying to make light because this is very overwhelming. They have you on the run. Your life is in serious jeopardy. So that's a threat to me. You need rest and safety. I know you are a warrior. So am I. But this cannot last. Again, now I got a knock on the door. Let's see who it is. And I'm glad y'all are witnessing this. Yes? Yeah. Uh-huh. You'll be on YouTube, gang stalker. Y'all seeing this? They just want to see if I'm here. This is what goes on with me. Sorry, wrong room. It's a guy in red and black. In a black vehicle. Here, I'll let y'all see. See you on YouTube, gang stalker. See what I mean? This is bad, y'all. This is really bad. I get no peace in here. So anyway, she goes on to say this. And then, yeah. Y'all saw he was in a black vehicle. I hope y'all could see. And see,